Hi guys, how you doing? Uncle Bob here once again with another video, and today we're going to be doing the DVD movie review of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now obviously coming from the very popular and successful Ghostbusters franchise, which obviously is coming from, was it the 90s or 80s? I'm pretty sure it was the 80s it started. The well, it's a TV series come after the movie or before? Not sure exactly. I think it might have been after. I'm not too sure. Anyway, yeah. So the hugely popular Ghostbusters. I know it was when I was younger, back in the day. It was Ghostbusters was one of the most popular things at the time. I think it was either that or Turtles. It was between this and Turtles back in the day, if I remember. Yeah, they were so popular. I mean, I personally like both, um, and I used to watch both the cartoons back in the day, and I used to have all the merchandise, figures and stuff. Not everything, but I used to have a few bits and pieces. And yeah, I used to like both personally. Probably mainly, probably did like Turtles probably better, but I actually wanted to be a Ghostbuster, or at least I wanted to make one of those, the proton packs. I had several attempts back in the day of trying to getting cardboard boxes and trying to make a proton pack. Very unsuccessful. I never achieved it. I never made one, or I think my sister might have eventually made me one, but it wasn't very good. It was a very bad attempt, but yeah, the idea was always there. But anyway, yeah. So coming from that, and then obviously the first film was back in 1984, and then the second one was 1989, and both very successful and very good. And then it was only years later when they made another one, which was not great, but it was fun. Then they made Afterlife, and this is like I believe this is the sequel to Afterlife. So Afterlife come out. Afterlife was 2021, was it? I seem to remember. Just after COVID, I think it was around about that time. And yeah, this is the sequel that was released a few months ago, I think, not long ago, and it's only been out on DVD a little while ago. And so here comes the review. Now, it has a sort of very young cast. Well, most of the young cast, or a few of them that were in the previous Afterlife film, and then obviously you saw Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and the guy who plays Winston, which I can never remember his name. But anyway, the guy that plays Winston, and obviously Harold Ramis passed away, so obviously he couldn't be part of it. Although he was in Afterlife as a ghost, and that was quite emotional. I found seeing the legend that is Harold Ramis in the last one come back as a ghost, which was very well done, I thought, but very also not only good but very emotional because obviously he passed away. But yeah, so obviously the others. Sorry about forgetting the guy's name that plays anyway. Winston, Bill Murray, and Dan Aykroyd came back in the last one, which was pretty cool to have them back in it. It's pretty much young cast. I must say I wasn't too fond of Afterlife, although it does get better as it goes on, and then it was really good at the end. I thought sort of picks up. It takes a long while to sort of pick up. But anyway, let's talk about this. As I said, yeah. So the cast is quite a few people from the first one, from Afterlife, and then they're back in it again, and obviously Winston, Dan Aykroyd, and Bill Murray come in it. Well, Dan Aykroyd is in it. Winston, for quite a while, but Bill Murray doesn't come in until the end. And obviously Slimer, who is in the old Ghostbusters films, he's in it as well, so the most iconic ghost. And the lady that plays, the actress plays Janine, can't think of her name, but she's in it as well. So yeah, pretty young cast, and obviously the legends of Ghostbusters, so they're sort of like all together, so sort of like the new era, and then sort of like the old cast as well, all together. And then basically the main story plot is basically there's like some sort of artifact. It's about the city firehouse, the centre of mainly attention. Um, so basically, they discover an ancient artifact, and basically there's some ghosts get unleashed, and yeah, on the city, and then the main guy, the main villain ghost, sort of like he sort of is like a, well, I'm not sure if he's a cold, but he's sort of like, he has the ability to sort of turn the whole entire city frozen. So yeah, so when the artifact, they unleash, the ghosts get unleashed, and then basically freeze the city. So that's the main uh, story plot to it, and then they just basically try and have to stop them. Sounds pretty simple, and it's quite simple. I must have to say that, as I said, Afterlife I wasn't a fan of, but it seems to get better towards the end. This is sort of the same sort of thing. I don't really get excited as much for these newer sort of films, especially when they don't have the original cast. Although even though they are in it, but they're not in it much. And I certainly don't feel the same. Don't get the nostalgia as the old films, and I never feel the same way. I always love watching the old films a couple of times a year, and yeah, I just love the old films. I can watch them time and time again, and never get fed up with them. Although with these newer ones, sort of just don't feel the same way. And yeah, just nostalgia is not there, and I don't think the excitement is there as much. Um, but yeah, and I mean, this gives you a sense of, when you're sort of watching it, it's, as I said, I mean, this is just my personal opinion. When it's on, it doesn't really excite me that much. Although knowing that Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and that are in it, you know, it's always, always think, oh, I'll watch them because at least they're in it, and it's going to be all right once they're in it. So there is that. But yeah, nostalgia-wise, just don't feel the same. Yeah, and as I said, I've only watched it once. I'll probably watch it a couple of more times, but I just didn't feel that excited. Some things like when there's, when the action kicked in, it was all right. I thought it wasn't too bad, but yeah, it just didn't feel excited. And then I felt a bit bored when it was like halfway in, and I just sort of couldn't really get into it. And then I was thinking to myself, oh, is Afterlife better? Or is this better? And then I was thinking, leaning towards Afterlife being better, but wasn't too sure. And I was thinking maybe Ghostbusters 3 actually might be better than this. Didn't feel it was that boring. Yeah, and it just gives us a sense of not being that excited, and of just a bit boring and a bit flat. And it just felt like it was just sort of dragging along at times, where it's sort of trying to build up to the storyline. It didn't feel like there was much going on from the sort of middle, sort of picks up towards the end, but there sort of didn't feel, there was areas where there wasn't much going on. It just felt a bit flat, not very exciting. But then it sort of picks up sort of towards the end, yeah, and it sort of gets better sort of towards the end, where things are happening, and then it sort of gets a bit more fun, a bit more enjoyable. Yeah, and as I said, I just didn't feel. Yeah, it just, I don't know. As I said, there's places where it was alright, but then it just felt a bit flat. Didn't feel really that excited about it, and until towards sort of the end. I don't know. I think maybe it was too soon for the last one. Before they needed another one, but I didn't even know they really needed another Ghostbusters film, to be honest. Um, could have been a bit longer for the next one. But I don't know, yeah. I just didn't feel that excited by it. But as I said, towards the end, it did feel more exciting. I think, the action itself is quite good when there actually are things going on. I don't have a problem with any of the action, as I don't most things, and I think the action is fine. Visually, it looks really good. The acting is so, not the best, not great. Storyline, I guess it's alright because I suppose it's something different they haven't done, like where there's a ghost that turns the city frozen, like so Frozen Empire, sort of different. But then again, it felt sort of samey as like previous Ghostbusters film, where there's just a ghost that escapes, and then they're just racing around the city, trying to just cause trouble. Apart from the fact that the ghost turned it frozen, didn't really seem much different. Only the fact that it was turned and the city froze. But I mean, it was all right. I wouldn't say I was blown away by it or thought it was that spectacular. I was also disappointed by the fact that they got Hal Ram's ghost to come back in it last time. I thought they would have done the same thing or something in this, but there was nothing, so I was disappointed by that. Now, as I said, Dan Aykroyd and the guy that plays Winston and Janine are in it for quite a while, but Bill Murray comes in it only towards about 10 or 15 minutes towards the end, which is not very long, so I was a bit disappointed by that as well. Didn't think that was that great. So there was a few areas that weren't, that could have been better. As I said, storyline was alright, but not great. The acting was alright, not great either. Visually, really good. And then the action, I think, was pretty good. Now, the time, which I also like in here, because, a lot of these films are either too long or too short, but on this, I think it was just alright. It was about, I think it worked out to about like just over 1:40, so like about 1 hour and 40 minutes, which I thought was quite good for this. Not too long, not too short. But overall, I'd said quite good, but could have been better in some places, and some good bits, some bad, but, some improvements. But yeah, it's cool, and I would recommend it, and I'll definitely be checking it out again. But I think that's going to be my review on that, guys. So, guys, hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more vids, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, bye for now, see you soon.